do you think can be done to reduce poverty here in St. John?
I think number one, to reduce poverty in St. John, we really need to invest in our at-risk neighborhoods, but also look at poverty across the board. We have some staggering statistics for poverty for this city, which just blow my mind when the amount of people that we have in this city who are struggling day by day just to make it through. One of the things we need to do is increase opportunities for them, invest in their lives, show them how to get out of the rut that they're in life, and show them that, you know what, really there is a better thing for you in life, and invest as a city to show them how they can move out of the situation that they're in so that they can have opportunities to succeed and to come out of poverty and to enjoy their life fully and not always have to worry about where the next loaf of bread is coming from or if they're going to be able to afford bus fare, but to give them the opportunities they need to be able to grow out of the situation they're in.
Great. And as far as priority neighborhood goes, that's a big concern. How would you go about improving conditions in priority neighborhoods?
Working with the communities as a whole, you got to get involved with the people, really find out what they need. Once we understand their basic needs to get the community back on track, we'll be able to formulate a plan and a vision to revitalize the community. Sometimes we focus on the fact that, we got to tear a building down to revitalize the community. That might not be the number one priority. There may be other issues that we really got to look at to say, listen, before we tear a building down, we got to look at working on issues of crime or feeding people or teaching people or whatever it may be. So we got to just first communicate with those who are in the communities and find out what the actual needs are to start somewhere.
And recreation, how would you go about improving that? That's obviously a big file here in the city. How would you approach recreation?
With working with recreation, we got to just kind of take a look at some other models that are going on around North America. There's some amazing things that are being done for some amazingly awesome budgets that fit in kind of with our budgets that we already have. I think we kind of got to look at recreation and realize that there are a lot of new programs that we could institute that aren't as old as some of the ones that are already in the city. And if we were to do that, we may be able to offer people the chance to get out of their house more by offering recreation opportunities that may only be a half hour or an hour at a time, and people can start there and get engaged back in recreation. Investing in recreation is key. It's going to help us physically, it's going to help us socially, and bind our community together.
And finally, a hot button topic it ties into priority neighborhoods, transportation, city transit. What's your approach to that, if you do become mayor and that file crosses your desk? Because budget funding, people are upset about their lack of service.
What we got to do is really sit down and take a look at transportation as a whole. It is critical and vital to any city that is going to grow in the next couple of years. We really need to invest in it, make sure that we're capitalizing on the money that we're putting into it. We really got to sit down and say what routes are the most advantageous. Maybe we haven't come up with creative ideas yet. We just need to look at some other models that are going on. In doing so, we'll be able to better fund and better spend the money that we have. Maybe instead of spending money on frivolous things, we can better control how that money is being used to capitalize on those dollars to increase the transit, because it's so vital. Students need it, seniors need it, young mothers need it. Everybody needs to be able to have access to it, and should be a very big priority within our city.
Would you commit more funding to it?
Yes, as we're able to deal with the other issues in the city, and number one, we got to get the city into fiscal restraint and really curb the spending that's going on. We're going to be able to, within the next, it's not an overnight fix, but within the next months, years, we'll be able to reinvest into this critical resource and really grow it. So.